everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a long-awaited thumbnail tutorial. This is going to be a simple and easy to follow step-by-step thumbnail tutorial in Canva Pro specifically. So just a little disclaimer, I do use Canva Pro, but I definitely don't think it's a necessity. It's just that it makes life easier with having all the tools necessary in like one place. But I will be giving you guys some free alternatives, sites that I use and have used before getting Canva Pro, and also sites where I get my renders for the characters, because as you know, I mainly do building videos and gacha games. So yeah, I really hope I did get a good enough job of explaining this to you. I am not a pro, so please do keep that in mind. I really hope I made this easy to understand, easy to follow. So I'll maybe have, if I have the time, I'll have like timestamps for every and each step. But yeah, without further ado, I'm yapping a lot, I'm sorry, but let's just get right into it. Alright, so first things first, I go to this site called tumblr.com ᯓᡣ�Transparents. It's on Tumblr. This person, shout out to this person for making these high quality transparent renders, and they're very good, and they're also free to use, so you don't have to give them credit or anything. They're completely free to use. You just shouldn't be reposting them. So I'm sorry you guys, I for some reason forgot to turn on capture cursor, so you guys just have to follow where it lights up to know where my cursor is. So yes, the first thing I start with is that I look up for the characters that I want. For example, if it's a building video or a pulling video, I look for that character. For example, I'm going to be making a thumbnail for my alt account leveling up live stream, so I'm going to look for ᯓᡣ� and llama. And I just look for whatever pictures that I like, for whatever renders that I like, and I install them. Alright, that was the first step. Second step is that I go to these sites. They're Wikipedias. So for example, Honkai Star Rail Wiki or Genshin Impact Wiki. For example, Zone Zero Wiki. All Hoyo games and Wuwa too have these wikis. They help a lot with building materials and stuff, but I mainly use them to get images from my materials. For example, you're gonna see right here that I use it to get the Dahlia's level up materials. And you can also, for Honkai Star Rail, you can find eidolons, like the renders, transparent renders for these eidolons. I like to use them sometimes in my Honkai Star Rail videos because they're really pretty. And yeah, I'm also going to be making a thumbnail. Also, I'm going to be making two thumbnails with you guys. One thumbnail is going to be me giving you the exact steps, and the second thumbnail is just going to be like a sped up making a thumbnail for you guys to see completely without me yapping in the background what steps I do. And it's going to be a different type of thumbnail. The first thumbnail we're going to be doing is a... Also, you can just right click on the images and save them, so it's really easy to do. And yes, the first thumbnail is going to be a thumbnail for a live stream, and it's where I'm going to show you exactly what steps I go through and everything and all of that. And the second thumbnail is going to be a building video, so you can see how I make my building videos, my building thumbnails. Okay, second step is over, the wiki. Third step is that I log into my game, and to take any screenshots necessary, I'm going to be showing you exactly what screenshots that I take. And yeah, for example, as you can see here, I'm going to be making a thumbnail for my account. So I take a screenshot of my AR of my account. I take a screenshot of my stellar reunion that I, to show that I haven't logged in a while. I'm not going to end up using this actually, but it's just, you need to take as many, it's not a step to reject a world join request. It's not a step. Excuse me. Dying as always. But yes, it's just to show that I have logged in a while. You just take as many screenshots as possible just in case you're gonna need them and like an idea falls on your head or something. And as you can see here, I'm going to be taking a screenshot of my history to use because this is a very lucky account. And I want to showcase that this account is very lucky in my thumbnail. So what I did is I took a screenshot of my history to show that I got 2 5-stars very, like, you know, early, and another 5-star weapon. Alright, and now we are in Canva. The first thing you want to do is you press the plus button and then you look up YouTube thumbnail, because that's the size that's for YouTube thumbnails and also works for Twitch thumbnails. You just have to like limit the file size. As you can see there, you can go to uploads, you can upload files, you can upload all the downloads, the renders, the screenshots you took. If you have NVIDIA, you can go to videos and you have a folder called NVIDIA. You can press on it, click that folder, and then you'll see folders for all the games that you play. You click on them and it shows all the games or screenshots that you took for each specific game. So our next step is gonna be to go into the Google, and then you can just search Genshin Impact scenery, Honkai Impact scenery, Honkai Star scenery, ZZZ scenery, whatever game you're gonna be making a thumbnail on, and you just add scenery next to it. And that's how I find my backgrounds. These are gonna be backgrounds. I just look up which colors are nice and gonna like fit the theme of the thumbnail or character that I'm gonna be building or making a video on. So there are a lot of like scenery pictures here, so I highly recommend that. Honkai Star Rail, for example, of course, Wuwa scenery, and you can add, for example, I did Honkai Star on ᯓᡩ𝐭Wikis because I really like the ᯓᡩ𝐭Wikis areas. I do Penacony. If you want a specific area, just add that before scenery. Alright, so we go back into Canva. Alright, so when I uploaded them, I picked which one I like best, and I picked this one because the theme is going to be returning to this account that's very new. So I downloaded this. I found it in the same search, Genshin Impact scenery, so just for you to know. And you know, it's like the beginning of the game, the 2 stars and everything, and that means a lot, so I wanted to use this specifically. You just go, and I like to use the filter called Hazel. I just really like the hazel color, and I use it in most but you can like find all the colors that you want your theme, and that's like the theme that I use for all my thumbnails. And then I go to blur. You can just use blur. The blur is free to use, of course. And I just blur it until I like what level I want. And as you can see here, I added another page because I want a specific, like, I want to cut this screenshot here in a specific like area, and because I like to add like glow and add like a border around it, that's not gonna let me it's not gonna let me do it for just that specific part. So I like to go into a brand new page and then download that, as you can see here. Yeah, and I chose the filter Hazel. If it's too much, I lower it because sometimes the hazel turns things into yellow or green, and I don't like that. You can press download and then choose transparent background, and yeah, and you can download it. I'm gonna give you guys a free to use site that's not really as good of a quality as Canva's transparent background thing or BG remover, but I'm gonna give you guys a site that's free to use for those who don't have Canva Pro. Yeah, so I installed this and I'm gonna go upload it into my main thumbnail. Alright, and that's actually not the final step. Let me see. And while we're still in the game, I'm gonna be showing you what I do outside of taking screenshots of the build and stuff. So how I get this is where you're gonna need Canva Pro, is because what I do is I go into the game. I click the camera icon. I'm using Genshin as an example here, but you can do this on any game because all these games have a camera option, a photo option in there. So what I do is, of course, I pick the character that I'm going to be building or is going to be the main theme. As you can see here, I don't like using the camera option that's built in. What I do is I hide the UI and then I take a screenshot using NVIDIA. If you don't have NVIDIA, there is a Windows option to take a screenshot and you can just, it's the same thing. It's just NVIDIA is easier. So yeah, I like wait for their idle animations, see if any idle animations are good or pretty, and then I take a screenshot. And then after that, I'm gonna show you what I do with the screenshots in Canva. Alright, so after uploading everything that I think is necessary to me, and then I uploaded the screenshots that we took of the characters. I'm gonna pick which one I like, and BG remover is a little frustrating sometimes because it like focuses on the character and just deletes everything behind it, and I don't really like that. You can also use another Canva Pro specific theme like tool, and that's like magic grabber, and that's how that lets you like grab freely which parts of the picture you want. Alright, so I use the filter. The filter is a little frustrating with ᯓᡣ because her colors are all green and that doesn't really look pretty. So yeah, and you go to shadows, use glow, and then I add the white as you guys saw because that just adds a little, like, it separates the character or like the PNG from the background, and that just looks cleaner in my opinion. You're free to do whatever you want, of course, but that's how I like to go about it. Yes, and then I pick one of the renders that we chose, and that's how I do like my backgrounds. I like having an HD, like not like in-game model, but just an HD render in the background, and I like lower the transparency or opacity, so it just adds a little to the thumbnail. Of course, you don't have to do that, but that's just how I like to do it. This thumbnail making process is a very trust the process, so you have to trust the process, guys. And I upped the intensity of the blur because it was like clashing a little. So yeah, like you're free to control whatever amount of blur you want. Of course, I want to have llama too, but you guys will see Canva hates llama's horns and antlers. Horns? Antlers? They're called antlers. Sorry, guys. This Canva hates llama's antlers for some reason, so I just gave up on having her 3D model on my thumbnail. And yeah. Yeah, I tried getting another one, but it just looks stupid. So I decided against it. This Canva hates Miss Llama for some reason. So yeah, and then I add the border yeah, I just like having these shadows, this white border around all the screenshots that I take. It just, again, it separates it from the background and it looks cleaner. So yeah, and you just play around with it however you want. And mainly like the first parts are just me like putting everything that I want to use and on the thumbnail on the page, and then I play with it around. I play around with it and see if I like it, if I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, so it's just like to see everything that you want to use in the same frame. That helps with seeing if everything like looks together, it looks good together. So guys, I'm really bad at explaining. I'm really bad at explaining, but I'm trying my best. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I add this screenshot here to show that I have 1,000 floating dreams. I actually might go back and get a render of the weapon and add it to show that I have it. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah. I mainly added a second thumbnail to this video to work on, mainly because I didn't like how this one came out that much. So I want you guys to see what a building thumbnail looks like, because those are my favorite to make because they're really easy. Like, you get the materials, you get the screenshots of the character you want, the 3D models, the renders, and they're much easier to make than these account progression, trying out NTE for the first time. These types of thumbnails are a little harder to make because you don't have a clear like idea of what you want. And since I do want llama at some point in my thumbnail, I added this render. It's really pretty, and I had to have it. I had to add it. And since it's gonna be a live, I chose one of my live thumbnails that I made, and what I do is just I lock everything because I like using the Sharky, my PNG tuber, of course, as you guys saw in the beginning, and my live like watermark, I guess, is that what it's called, to separate my videos and my live streams. I like to add that, and also my PNG tuber. And I just copy them and paste them, and then I play around with wherever I want them. It just saves you time to just copy and paste, so that's what I like to do. Alright, so another part where Canva Pro comes in is the brand kit, because I don't really like the fonts that Canva comes with, so you have to have Canva Pro to upload your own fonts that you find in a font site. There are a lot of free sites to use. You can just install fonts that you want, and that's what I did. I have a lot of uploaded fonts, as you guys can see. The one that I mainly use for all of my thumbnails is the Porky's one. It's really cute, and I just really like how clean it looks. I used to use Adelia, but that I kind of just grew out of it, honestly, and I saw that it doesn't really look good with a lot of my thumbnail themes. So I just decided to continue using Porky's, and of course, I'll leave all the links that I've ever used in my description below, so you guys can check that with how it looks right now. But I'm gonna show you a thumbnail that I made that I'm very, very happy with in just a moment. And here I'm gonna be starting my saber, building saber, pulling and building saber thumbnail for you guys to see what I usually 90% of the time do for my thumbnails, because this is how most of my content is, building videos for my characters. And I'm just gonna not yap unless I need to add to something. I'm gonna let this be like a sped up version of me making the thumbnails, and for you guys to just see without me bothering you. Okay, I'm actually gonna shut up in a second. I just removed the logo, and if it looks, of course, Magic Eraser is also something only available in Canva Pro again, so just keep that in mind. I removed this, but it leaves like a smudge behind. You can just go in again and go over it, and that makes it look cleaner. Also, while this is playing in the background, I just want to say something. You guys can like, something I did before I developed my own like thumbnail style was that I would look up the genre that I make. For example, Genshin Impact cozy videos, cozy gameplay for this game, etc. And I just looked at a lot of thumbnails, and you know, it's just like to see what people like and how people make thumbnails for this type of genre. And then I just kept experimenting. You guys can scroll all the way down to my like first ever videos. I'm saying this for you to not get discouraged if you can't find your style. It can be a really frustrating experience, honestly. Like, same, you guys can see how much my thumbnail style developed, and it looks a lot cleaner and nicer now and more professional in my opinion. So you guys can just scroll around my first videos, and you can just see when I started to actually get my own thumbnail style. It takes a lot of experimenting, so don't get discouraged if your thumbnails don't feel nice or it feels like you're just copying someone else. Don't feel discouraged. That's like a must thing to go through at first, and then your style will come, trust me. Alright, and this is a separate site that I told you guys about where you guys can get transparent renders. Not transparent, just BG removers, background removers. This is one that I used to use before I got Canva Pro, so I think this will be really helpful. But keep in mind, the quality is not that great, to be honest, because it also requires you to get a premium subscription if you want better qualities and sizes. So but it's really nice for what it is. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is a very different video from what I usually do, and I really hope I did a decent job at explaining. I hope it wasn't too hard to follow. I was really upset when I saw that my cursor wasn't showing, that I forgot to turn it on. I feel like that, like, seeing where my cursor is would have helped a lot, but I really hope it wasn't too hard to follow, like, each step. And yeah, tell me guys in the comments if you think this was helpful. Please tell me it was. My heart can't handle it otherwise. Anyways, of course, do remember to leave a like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe if you like this. Not sure if I'm gonna be doing another tutorial after this. I think this is my first and last. I really don't like explaining things because I'm very bad at it. So yeah, without further ado, let's just end the video. I'm yapping a lot. You guys know, you guys are used to this by now. You guys are used to this by now. Anyways, also I will leave a lot of the channels that have helped me and inspired me, like tutorials that I followed before, cozy channels that I watch a lot and follow and have definitely inspired me in this whole journey, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with them, but I will leave that in the comments. Also, make sure to follow and follow my Twitch. Yes, follow my Twitch for streams, of course, you guys know not, and join our Discord. We're having a lot of fun in our Discord server, so we need more peoplets. So make sure to join. It's free and we have a lot of fun there. So yeah, bye bye. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's definitely not going to be a tutorial one. Just keep that in mind.